So when getting started with Kami, you can head on over to the kamiapp.com. Pretty simple. You could create an account here. I already have one, but if you click create an account, you should have it connected to your domain. So some schools had put in that they were interested in using it, and I had submitted their names to Maxine, who was their rep. But you can just kind of go on in with Google, okay? That's the easiest way to do it because it will integrate directly with your Google Classroom and with your docs and such. But what I'll do is I will come on over here and I will click sign in and I will head on into my Kami account. So this is my dashboard and it already picked up which account that I was in. So you'll see over here, very similar to using Google. You'll see that there's initials and it says Jackie Batanio and with my Strong Schools information in here. So very important to have a look and see what is up here. You have a couple of different options of things that you can do or start. You can open up something, anything from your Google Drive, which is why it's important to connect with your Google account. You can open something from your computer. We can create a classroom assignment, or we can start from a blank document. So what I'll get us started with is a blank document. Okay, so it's going to ask me how many pages and the page type. So really think about what the purpose is of this. So if you're looking for writing, you might do lined page, or you might do a grid page if you're doing math. And again, similar with music, which I have no musical talent. I would never be doing this. It would be the music sheet. So let's open up lined paper and I will click add. Okay. So it's a little bit faint. You might not be able to see it, but it essentially looks like a notebook. Not developmentally appropriate for the younger grades, but for the older grades, it mimics your basic loose leaf. So this is your blank canvas. And we know that we're on page 1 of 1 because it tells us down here. We have a couple of different things that we can do up here. So this is our select tool. You'll see that this is the arrow. Whenever we need to get back to baseline, we make sure that we just kind of click on that. You have the hand tool, and then you have select annotation, but we'll revisit that in a couple of minutes. We also have dictionary. I don't have any text on the page to use this with. Text to speech, which means that whatever is on here, I could have it selected and then it will read it to me. As I move down, I could mark up my page. I could add comments, text box, equations, drawings, shapes, erase, and then we can insert image or a signature in here, okay? So first thing I will start with, I'm gonna create a text box, all right? And we'll look at the font size. I'll leave it at 14, okay? And I'll keep my color as black. And I'm just gonna tap right here. So you'll notice that it's very similar to a, using Docs or Microsoft, you have your toolbar pop up. So I can start typing in, this is my writing piece, my reflection for today, May 1st, 2020. Okay. I could make modifications to this by coming over here and I can make these bigger. I can change my font, okay? I could also make it bold, unbold it, and so on and so forth. And then you'll also notice that you have the link feature, so I can save to drive. Oops, I have, okay. I come over here and I click on the link and I could link this outside to something else. So again, for those of you who have used these features in Classroom or in Docs, you can click on link and you could actually link this sentence to an outside website. But I won't do that now. Some of the other things you can do in here, where I just was, we could add in an emoji since we have been using these for facial and emotional expressions lately. I know that I've been living on them. And if I keep going over, I can also do voice typing. So this is definitely something that can help for a student who maybe needs some support. So what I can do, and I allow my mic to go through. Thought I said Mexico when I said allow my mic to go through. I will delete that. So what you'd notice is that when it was red, that means that I was recording. And when all I had to do to stop recording was click on it again. So I'm going to click on this. This is my writing piece. I had a really rough day today. I don't know how to do my multiplication, period. All right, so it picked up that initial. So I will go in, I will just delete that. I will make that a capital. And there is one of my sentences. Okay. So you will notice that it doesn't necessarily line up on the paper all the time exactly as you want it to be. So you might have to kind of move this around. But again, it's just a good way to kind of switch it up and give students a base of where you want them to write. So this is one text box that I am writing in. I can continue to write in this one text box, and I could add in bullet points. Let's see, two-step multiplication was most difficult. Next time I need to work with my teacher on a meet for more support. So again, just the basic features when you are writing in a text box, okay? So if I wanted to delete this, so I actually X'd out of here. If I wanted to come back and delete this, I can click the red X over here. But you notice that I'm still on this text box, so anywhere I click, a text box will appear. This is what I mentioned before. If you want to stop having that happen, you have to come back up here to the select. So now we're back to baseline and we have our arrow open right here, okay? But again, I can always go up and I can always delete this or start fixing things within my text area. All right. So the next thing we can do with this, I could have this read to me. So right down, so I was at the select tool. If I come down here, text to speech, you see that it is now highlighted. It has the rim around it. I have the voice that it is set to. I could change it to a female, a male, and I could also change the speed once I listen to it to slower or faster based on my level of cognition and what I need to accomplish as a student. So what I'll do is I will click on, see, make sure this works. I click on here and I click text to speech. Why are you not playing? All right, so we're here and we highlight the text and we click.
My reflection for today, May 1st, 2020. Face with heart-shaped eyes. This is my writing case. I had a really rough day today. I don't know how to do my multiplication. Two-step multiplication was most difficult. Next time I need to work with my teacher on a meet for more support. Full stop.
Okay, so you notice that while it was reading, what I did was I came down here to speed and I was able to kind of toggle back and forth between the speed level and how fast it was going. Again, based on my my needs. Okay. So I'm going to head on over to where it says. So my dictionary is not working today, and that's totally fine. So normally when you would click here, your dictionary would pop up. You would select the word and it would show you a meaning for this particular word, but it is not working today, and that's okay. Moving on, we have markup. So this is a blank document. Like I said, this is a reflection piece. There are different things that you can do in terms of highlighting the text and boxing in text. So for example, if I want to highlight specific things, I can come over here and let me click on what I want to highlight. And what I would just highlight right here. Ooh, my highlighter is not working. Having some issues today with my with my app. I'm not sure why, but in any event, let me get that fixed. Fine. So I will show you what the box highlighter is because it serves almost as a similar method as to the text highlighter. So if I click box highlighter, it'll give me the same options over here. I'll click on my yellow and you'll see that there is that little cross. And what I do is I just draw a box over what I want to highlight. Pretty simple. And then I can change based on what it is that I am highlighting. So if I'm looking for specific topics like highlight your math, highlight your ELA, you can change the colors based on it over here. Okay, so that's your highlight tool. If I wanted to, let's say, delete highlighting that I did, what I would do is come back up here to select again. Okay, make sure we're in select. We click right? Click on top of the actual highlighting, okay, right up here. And I'm able to make those modifications to the highlighting. So I could actually just delete it, or I can change whatever it is here. So what I'll do is I will tap on it and I will just delete the highlighting. All right. Next is your commenting. So you have the ability to comment as you normally would on a doc. So what I did was, this is the comment box. I came over here and I start typing. I think this is a problem we can address together. That's your basic text comment. And then whoever is invited to this, just like docs, can also add a reply to it. Next thing is the voice comment, which is also available when you click on text comments. There was a microphone in there. But if I click voice comment, I could tap and I could start giving feedback this way. I think that you might be having a difficult time because you're absent so much during the one-step multiplication. So we're going to have to work on that area. And then I click stop. And now I have the audio version saved right here. So student can come on and listen to the audio version. Start giving feedback this way, along with the reply. Then we have video commenting. So if you want to get one step further, you can come on here. Let's do it in a different spot. Okay. And you'll see yourself. So I could record myself. I could do a full-on video saying, demoing what I think you should do next time. So let me save that. This video will live right here and you'll see yourself. So I could record. Okay, so I stopped it. And I'll go one more. You could also do screen capturing. So I don't have anything else open at the moment, but if I had something open, let me go to Scholastic. I can do, oh, that's right, I was incognito when I did this. So what you'd need is you need to get the screen capture extension up here, which is something that I can share at another time. But what that does is that allows for you to actually do a screen capture, and add that onto your piece of work right here. Okay. So think about all the different ways that you can use this. The commenting features are huge, and how you can either have students commenting this way or how you are providing commenting this way. Again, we talked about the text box. And then you have the equations. Now, this is not something that I've used frequently, but you are able to add in mathematical symbols. Like I mentioned before, there's the other types of paper that you could have on here, and you could do your equations in math basically right onto this sheet. All right. Drawing. So again, this is open to interpretation. However it is you want to use it, you can ask the kids to draw a picture and how they feel collectively. Okay. Put your drawings in here, adding in shapes. So I could add a shape. Maybe I am doing angles. You could add in your shapes right here and then decide on your transparency. If you're going to add color to adding on here. So I'm going to just come on over and I'm going to delete, get in here and just delete these teeny tiny, I'll delete the bigger one. Okay. Then you have your eraser again. Just come on over here and just a bulk erase of the stuff that you have put on your page. And then you can come over here and do the drawings and shapes eraser. Again, it's all about preference and how it is that you want to move things away from your document. Inserting an image. So this is also another high leverage area because you could pull in from your computer, from Drive, or just do a Google search. So if you're working on a particular, always wanting me to sign in, a particular topic, you could do a Google search right from here. So let's say I am looking for dogs. Insert an image, right? And I could drop it right here. Maybe I'm asking students to label. So, you might have them insert a line, right? I might insert a line. And I might ask them to tell me what this is. This is a pug. Right? I could also, remember, come on up here, and I could also voice type what I think this is as well. Right? So I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to give you a moment to talk. I want you to think about what are some of the ways that you can use this at the very base level, just thinking about a blank document, whether you're using the lines or whether you're using the full-on blank or the music. How can you use this in your work? How can students use it? How can you use it? What is the value in terms of meeting the needs of the various students in your class? All right, so once I'm done with working on this, couple things I can do. So I could share this document with students. So if I click share, what it's going to prompt me to do, it's going to prompt me to upload it to Kami. Again, this is similar to Docs. Like I said, it's all sort of intertwined, but Kami is itself its own platform. So you can have other teachers, other students join you on this particular Kami document. So when I clicked share and I uploaded it to Kami, you'll see that there is this link right here, right? I can copy it, I can embed it, but it gives me sort of the similar items that you can do on Drive. So anyone with a link can annotate. So if you are working in tandem with students on annotating a document, annotating a writing piece, they could do what we were doing over here before. Also share my annotations with collaborators. So again, if I'm giving feedback, do I want them to see it or do I not want them to see it? Okay. And then sharing permissions. So these are just some of the ways that you can, when just working on Kami, can push this out to somebody else and have them work with you on it. Okay? The other component is that you could push this right out into Google Classroom. So if I come over here, like I said, there's a whole host of other things that we can do with Kami, and I will also send out those resources to you. But I can come over here and click Create an Assignment. Okay, and what you'll see is that this looks just like your Google Classroom when you're in a Google Classroom and creating assignments. This is linked directly with it. So I'm going to say, who is this for? So I'm going to head on into the online learning class, okay? And then I'm going to make a decision. Who is this for? Is this for all of my students? Is this for a select number of students? So who am I working with here? Am I working with just Contessa, Alice, and Jackie? Or is it for the whole entire class? So I'm going to leave it at just those 3 students because those are the ones that I want to focus on. I think that they need practice with this particular skill. And I will leave it as published because I could set it as a draft. And again, very similar to Classroom, I am going to put in the title, Writing Reflection. Please add in, oh, that's not writing. I'm just going to put weekly reflection. Reflection. Please add your reflections about the week's assignments. Use the features. Use the voice to text features if you need. Also, adding in your reflection if you need to make modifications, add comments on the side. And use voice or video. All right. And again, you see here it's called Line PDF because I didn't change the name of it, and make a copy for each student. So it's automatically going to default to that because it's going to send out a copy to each one of the students. I can change my point value, due date, when is it scheduled for, and the topic. So again, like we do in Google Classroom all the time, we're very diligent in how it is that we are sending and adding our topics in, because we want to make sure that everything is nice and neat and orderly when we head back on over to Classroom. Okay. If you need students to have instructions on how to use Kami, I highly recommend doing this. You click Send Kami Instructions to Students. Okay, so what will happen is, and I'm going to sign in as Alice Apple in a little while to show you what the back end looks like for a student, okay, and why it's important to send in the Kami instructions to start with. Again, if I wanted to, if there was more to this, I could always go into my drive and add more information based on the assignment that I was pushing out. So I could go into my drive, or I can add from my computer. But what I'll do is I will push this assignment out to my students. And give it a minute to go. And then what I'll show you, okay, there it is. So now I could actually go into my classroom and have a look at what this looks like now. So here we go. This is me as the teacher. This is my assignment that I just posted. So the Kami instructions, when I open them up, will walk the students through what they should do. And this is something that you need, and we'll send this out to you in terms of what students need to do when getting started. So it walks you through step by step. They need to install the Kami extension. Okay, they're going to add it to their Chrome, which is something that you will also do. Go to Google Classroom, go into classwork. They're going to open the assignment, right? And they're going to open it with Kami. So if this is an assignment that you want them to do with Kami, this is what they need to be doing in their classroom. And then you just sort of go through the basic steps of what it is that is allowed and how to turn things in. But everything is very streamlined and succinct with Classroom. So everything looks very similar. So you'll see over here, once it's completed, they would click Turn In with their purple button. And then you have the step-by-step tutorial videos. So again, they have a lot of resources for students to be successful and helped when they are at home with their families, because that has been definitely a struggle.